I'd like to show you a card trick. This is one of those stories with a deck of cards. And this is called The Rich Man and the Porter. I saw Willie Nelson do this on a YouTube video, and I thought I'd show it to you. This is the story of the rich man and the porter. Well, the rich man just checked into a real fancy, extravagant hotel where the porter worked at. And the rich man wanted to play some cards later on after he got checked in and settled in. So he asked the porter if he could round up some fellas to play cards. Well, the porter says, sure, I can go get you some fellas. So the porter leaves. The spectator cuts the cards if they were here. And the porter went down 1 block, 2 blocks, 3 blocks, and 1, 2, 3, 4 houses. Porter comes back. He says, I found you those fellas to play cards with. A real nice bunch of guys. 4 kings. And the rich man says, man, that's great. There's a $2 tip. He says, where'd you find them at? And the porter says, well, I got some friends down on 6th Street, 7th Street, and 8th Street. Well, the rich man and the guys were playing cards for quite a while. Had a good game going. But they were getting kind of tired. They wanted a little bit of company. So the rich man goes back to the porter. He says, you know, we've been having a really good time here. And we'd like a little company now. You reckon you could find us up some nice ladies to spend some time with? And the porter says, you know, I think I can do that. So the porter leaves. Spectator cuts the cards if they were here. And the porter goes down 1 block, 2 blocks, 3 blocks, 4 blocks, and 1 house. Porter comes back. He says, I found you some nice ladies to spend some time with. A couple of redheads and a couple of brunettes. Real nice ladies. And the rich man says, man, that's great. There's another $2 tip. Where'd you find them at? He says, well, like I said, I got friends on 6th Street, 7th Street, and 8th Street. So they were all having a real good time. Men were conversing with the ladies and just good conversation and a few drinks and food and stuff. But it was getting real crowded there, so the service was getting kind of slow there. They couldn't get really what they needed. And so the rich man goes back to the porter. He says, you think you can round us up any help? The service is a little bit slow around here because it's so busy. The porter says, you know, I can probably do that. So the porter leaves. The spectator cuts the cards if they were here. And the porter goes down 1 block, 2 blocks, and 2 houses. So the porter comes back. He says, I rounded up them fellas for you, but they're all named Jack. But they're good workers. And the rich man says, man, you're just great. There's another $2 tip. And so everything was going pretty smooth there. They were getting their drinks and food because they had the extra help, and they were just having a real good time. But the porter comes back to the the rich man comes back to the porter and he says, well, you know, we've been having a really good time here, but you know what? I ran out of whiskey. They're out of whiskey. You reckon you go round up any whiskey for us? And the porter says, you know, I think I know right where I can get some for you. So the porter leaves. Spectator cuts the cards once more. And the porter goes down 1 block, 2 blocks, and 2 houses. He comes back. He says, I found you some good whiskey, sir. Real good whiskey. Ace whiskey. Best kind there is. I got you 4 bottles of it. And the rich man says, man, you are just super. That's great. There's another $2 tip. So everything was going pretty smooth again. You know, they had their whiskey and doing just about what they was doing before, just having a real good time. And then finally, the rich man comes back to the porter and he says, you know what? Everything's going pretty smooth, but you know, I ran into a little bad luck with my cards, and I ran out of money. And all I've got is this $40 check. You think you can cash it for me? And the porter says, of course, I can do that. So the porter leaves. Spectator cuts the cards. And the porter goes down 1 block, 2 blocks, and 2 houses. So the porter comes back. He says, I got that change for you. Cash that check for $40. I got you 4 10 spots. How's that? And the rich man says, that's just great. Here's a $10 tip, 2 5s. Well, by now the rich man was really beginning to like this guy, porter guy, really well. He got him just about anything he wanted. So he started up a little conversation. He says, you're a swell guy. How old are you? Well, the porter says, I'm 46. The rich man says, well, you don't look a day over 30, 35. He says, are you married? He says, yeah, I'm married. I got 7 kids, 4 boys, and 3 girls. He says, you ever play cards? And the porter says, oh, yeah. I play down at the 4-8 club every now and then. He says, and the rich man says, well, did you ever get any good hands down there? And the porter says, yeah, one day I had me 4 9s. 4 9s. I thought for sure I was going to win. And the rich man says, well, did you win? And the porter says, heck no. Some guy came in there with a straight flush and wiped me clean of my money. And that's the story of the rich man and the porter. And hope you like that. And if you want to check out old Willie Nelson's version, just look up Willie Nelson Card Trick and you'll find him. Thank you.